Thank you for joining us. This is our third session in 6-session series, EMDR, Finding Calm in the Storm. And I am the facilitator, Cara Dixon. And the past several sessions, I talked a little bit about what EMDR is, and we've been practicing a few techniques from phase 2 of that modality. So today I want to touch on some of the things we've practiced to reinforce. The brain loves repetition, so I want to touch back on some of the things that we've worked on and kind of continue to build on that. So if you haven't been with us and you're just joining us for the first time today, that's okay. We're kind of going back, doing a few things, and then moving ourselves forward with some new things to add today. But why don't we just start by taking a good deep breath, kind of orienting our mind and our body into this moment. So in whatever way feels comfortable for you to get that breath, just breathing in and breathing out. It's a very simple way just to let your brain know that you're here now. Orienting to this moment. You might take a minute to notice what the ground beneath your feet feels like in this moment, or what the chair that you're sitting in feels like on your body. And again, as you take some maybe deeper and longer breaths, just orienting your mind into this moment, sort of dropping yourself into your body and meeting yourself there with that breath, bringing that nourishing oxygen in, and maybe even exhaling any tension that you're experiencing in this moment. And while we're there, the technique that we practiced first was the container method. So when we drop into our internal experience, we might notice distraction or all kinds of things coming up. And as we create some space for it now, we want to allow it to be there, not trying to fight, control, or change, just letting it be there. But the container method helps us to get a little bit more in control of that experience, so that it doesn't overwhelm us or flood us, and we can decide when and how we want to come to terms with things in our own healing journey. So just to take a moment to practice that one again. If you feel comfortable in any of these exercises, you can close your eyes. Closing your eyes sometimes allows yourself to open up the part of the brain that imagines, but you can also keep your eyes open, just have a soft gaze on something in the room, and using your mind to create an imaginary container with the following qualities: that it would be big enough and strong enough to hold what you would want to put in it today, that there's a way to close it and lock and seal, and that there is perhaps a little valve or a small door where you can take parts out and put parts back without having to open it all up again. So again, it's just let the brain bring up what it brings up with those qualities. It might be the same container that you used the first time. It might be something different, whatever feels right for you. And we'll take another minute, again, closing your eyes or leaving them open, whatever it feels comfortable for you, to just, as you, again, tune into your internal experience, noticing any disturbance or distraction, or maybe something you're just not ready to come to terms with yet. And taking a minute now just to allow whatever you want to go into that container to go in now. You can imagine placing it in, pushing it in, pouring it in, any way your mind wants to take it. Just see if you can let it go in there now. And taking some deep breaths as you do, giving yourself the time you need to let that go in there now. Sometimes can give yourself a prompt, like you can get back to it later or you'll pull it out at another time. But just trying to create a little bit of space in your mind by putting some of those things away for the time that we have together or whenever you want to pull it out again. Good. And when you've put as much as you want to put in there today, taking another moment to close, lock, seal that container, maybe even put it in a place where it can be safe or stored. And then shifting your attention to how you might feel in this moment now that you've been able to put as much as you did in there. You may feel a little more relieved, a little more relaxed, maybe a little more in control or something else. But just taking a minute to simply notice that you're able to feel this way now. And see if you can allow yourself a minute to just appreciate or enjoy that you can feel this way now. And then adding to that, we're going to practice the safe calm state exercise again. And we're going to practice a technique where we shift states. So we're going to try to deepen and strengthen the relaxation or calm state. So we'll drop into it, we'll strengthen it. I'll tell you how we're going to do that. And then we're going to activate a little bit of annoyance or disturbance, and we're going to practice getting back to calm and a little bit of internal safety. And that's a technique that we use in EMDR that we call state shifting, where we strengthen the ability to move in and out of experience, where we can like notice and recognize agitation, disturbance, annoyance. And rather than avoiding or detaching from it, we can stay in it. And we can practice shifting our state to something that feels a little more grounding, calming in our internal experience. So it's like a little step beyond just taking a deep breath, because we actually go into our internal world and we start to strengthen a space that feels safe and calm in there that we can kind of drop into and return to as much as we need to. So today I want to practice that with you using bilateral stimulation. So I haven't talked about this before, but EMDR, one unique feature of EMDR is we use bilateral stimulation. I'm not going to go into a long detail about that, but I will say there are 3 forms of bilateral stimulation. There's eye movements, which the EMDR stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing. There's tactile sensation. Okay, what we're going to use today, tapping. And then there's auditory. Okay, so again, a lot of research behind the bilateral stimulation that I'm not going to use our time to unpack today. The EMDRIA website that I linked everybody to in the first session would be a really good one to understand how this works with our brain and why it's so effective. But I will say in our session that it allows, one benefit is dual awareness. It kind of keeps one foot in our present external, kind of focusing on external stimuli while we're able to drop into our internal world. I've had a lot of clients that say even just the back and forth repetitive motion or being able to have that one dual awareness helps to regulate. It creates kind of a regulation. It I'm going to read from a book by Barbara Herschel that I'll just say, or Hensley, I'm sorry, Barbara Hensley, that on EMDR therapy, that the eye movements tend to interfere with the working memory by reducing emotionality or the vividness of the autobiographical memory. So it continues to strengthen the brain's ability to shift, and also the repetitive redirecting attention in EMDR induces a neurobiological state similar to that of our REM sleep. And if you know, our REM sleep is our deepest sleep when it's believed that's when we are processing our information. So again, we're not going into reprocessing in these workshops, but when we reprocess disturbance or trauma, we actually activate that. And in our using bilateral stimulation, we let that kind of experience come out of its stuck state, and we use the eye movements back and forth, similar again to processing information that we do in our sleep, to help reprocess the information in our awake state. So again, a lot of more to say and learn about that. I don't want to go into too much of that, but I have provided the resources. And what I want to demonstrate for us as we practice our exercise today is that this is called the butterfly hold. And when we go back and forth with slow, gentle tapping, we are strengthening our resources. So we go very slow and gentle back and forth. And this actual hold is a safety hold. So again, not going to go too much into that, but somatically, this communicates safety to our body. So as we hold our body in the butterfly hold and we use the bilateral stimulation back and forth, we actually are strengthening. Again, last week we practiced the safe, calm state just by generating it in our mind. This strengthens it, it embodies it, and it drops it into our body. Okay, so that's why we do it. Again, a lot of different kinds of bilateral stimulation. Some people don't like the tapping, and the eye movements is what it was originally started with, but any can work. And when you work with an EMDR therapist, they'll work to find what fits best for you. So I don't know how many people are with us today, or what feels comfortable for you. I'm just going to demonstrate using the butterfly hold and just the back and forth tapping. And it will create something that you can practice on your own. Again, dropping into the calm state that we'll work with today, but then strengthening it with bilateral stimulation is something you can do on your own. So what I would like to do is, again, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes or having your eyes open and a soft gaze on something in the room, I want you to just think of a place, it can be real or imagined, that you connect with feelings of calm, or a place that you connect with feelings of peacefulness. Just giving your brain a minute to see whatever it brings up that links to calm for you today. I want you to notice that the image that goes with that calm space. Just giving yourself a minute to be there now by allowing yourself to hear, see, and feel in this place. You might even take a deep breath as if you were breathing in the air in that space, noticing the fragrance, or even just the temperature of the air. allowing yourself to be there now. Noticing what you see, you hear, what you feel, perhaps the temperature or the way the ground feels on your feet in that place. As you focus on your calm place, notice what feelings you may have. Notice where you may be feeling that in your body, any pleasant sensation. And just do a little gentle tapping. Good. Taking a minute to notice anything that catches your eye or that you're listening to. Focus on that. And we'll go with that. Continuing to notice parts of that place that feel calm, peaceful, or particularly safe for you today. Just focus on it. Good. Is there a word or phrase that links to this space for you that represents this calm place? Just noticing if there's a word or a phrase that comes to mind. Notice that any positive feeling you experience, the image of that place, and then repeat that word to yourself, and then start tapping again. Notice how you feel now. If it is positive, continues to strengthen, focus on that. If there's any distraction or disturbance that jumps in on you, any intrusive memory or disturbance, using your container, seeing if you can let that go into your container now. And then come back when you're ready to that place and focus on that. Good. And sometimes we need to make that place feel even safer. So you can use your imagination if you need to build a wall around it or create in it something that allows you to make it even safer if it continues to get disturbed. And then focus on that. And again, gentle tapping. Good. So we're going to practice shifting to just a minor disturbance. I want you to think about the past day, a minor disturbance, not something heavily disturbing, just something a bit annoying. And for just 1 minute, I want you to go to that thing that was just a bit annoying. Okay, so maybe somebody cut you off when you were driving today, and just something that creates a bit of disturbance, not a lot. And when you focus on that memory or that experience that has some annoyance connected to it, just notice how you feel when you think about it now. Notice where you feel that in your body when you bring that up. And then using that word or even a simple prompt to that calm space, see if you can get back to that place. So using your cue word or just taking yourself back to that calm place simply by bringing that image back up in your mind. Giving yourself a minute to get there. And then when you're there, letting yourself experience again the parts of that place that make it feel calm or safe or peaceful. So it might be the sounds or what you see or the colors. Might be taking a deep breath in and out in that space. Good. And then I'd like you to notice how you feel when you're back in that space, where you feel that in your body, and just taking a couple more gentle, slow taps. Good. And we can imagine drawing an imaginary curtain over that safe, calm space, knowing that that lives inside of you and you can return at any time that you need to in this next week. Simply by using your cue word or even by closing your eyes and bringing back that image, taking some deep breaths and allowing the sensory experience to experience and embody that place. We use container in that exercise to put disturbance or distraction along the way. We work to strengthen the safety there by letting our imagination create what it needed to. And again, we used a cue word, which can help us, our brain, go back if it's hard for us to get back there ourselves during the day. Sometimes people write that cue word down, and so they have it to kind of orient back and remind themselves to get back there. And the last part of the exercise that we did quickly, but is what I mentioned at the beginning, is a state shift where we practiced activating some disturbance and then bringing your mind back to a place that feels calm. And again, with EMDR, we're not just thinking about it, we're experiencing the emotion that connects to it. So we come out of our brain into our emotions and into our body, and then we strengthen it. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was a place in your day today where you could just pause and get some grounding. And also just, this is such a lovely community. I feel honored to be here with you today and for all of us to kind of join together and virtually hold hands and sort of do this practice together. So thank you for for being with me today, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Hope you have a wonderful week.